It's a mess right now. Gonna explain what I'm doing. Uh, this is a collector's worst fear come true. We'll talk about it.
Josh and Caleb.
Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. A physical media collector's worst nightmare come true. This rot. I had no idea about this whole controversy for Warner Brothers. Crazy Joe, someone I've met at Dragon Con, he knows Dave. He posted a video and I watched it about how DVD is dead. I thought that's interesting. But in the video he mentions several Warner Brothers titles that do not work in his collection. He found out about through retro blasting. He did a video on it. Go check out that video. And he found out about through damn fool Idealistic Crusader, who has a great channel. He did 2 videos on the situation. So if you guys did not know, much like me, I had no idea about this. From 2006 to 2009, Warner Brothers went with a DVD manufacturer in Pennsylvania, and apparently they cut a lot of corners as far as the manufacturing the disc, like the solution, the glue. They cut a bunch of corners, and the discs are basically useless now. Some of them due to disc rot. Uh, so I immediately thought, oh no, all my Mary-Kate and Ashley, all my Batman stuff, all my Scooby-Doo stuff, and it really concerned me, so I went through every Warner Brothers title I own. I did not test all of them, and we'll get to why I found a little secret that might help you guys. So I thought, worst case scenario, every Warner Brothers title from that era is useless right now. So I immediately thought, worst case scenario. But there was a list which damn fool Idealistic Crusader did. He compiled 3 lists. Go to his channel and there's a link you can go to. I will read out the 208 things listed. I will do that here in a second. So basically, I always thought Warner Brothers as like top tier when it comes to like box sets and packaging. Like this, for example, one of the better. Uh, they do great box sets. I always thought they're like the best. Like Batman, the animated series, like the foldouts, like just some of the best packaging known to man. But if the discs are useless in there, what good is a great package? You know what I mean? So apparently, in like 2006 to 2009 is the years that they use this disc manufacturer. So I'm going to go through the list. I'm going to tell you what in my collection did not work from the list and what is safe, at least in my personal collection. And yeah, I thought this was a very important movie. One something you guys probably did not know about. I certainly did not know about. So I thought I would make a video. Okay, so I don't know if this is showing up the best. Uh, but there's rings around there, and there's that. You see that code there? VA. Uh, I, but Whammo, I think is the distributor. That is is the culprit. But some of them, like this Veronica Mars, has a date on it of 2014, so that's safe. Uh, Anything 2010 and after is safe. And then these are just some examples. Like this does not have a code on it. I think these are safe. I'll show you. Just because it's yellowed does not mean it's disc rot. See, like that. That has a little bronze to it. I don't know if that means this could still rot. I'm not sure 100% on that. And then anything done by the Warner Archive is safe. I want to show one more example before we get into it. These two discs for Batman the Animated Series. Can you see that? That is disc rot. Those do not play at all. They don't load. They just make really loud noise and it won't load. The other two discs are fine, but I'll get into it. This is something I was going to upgrade anyway. So those are some examples. Now we're going to get to what worked from the list. Well, let's read the list first, and then we'll get to this pile here. Okay, this is the list. Like I said, you can find on his channel. The first list is box sets, and then we get to individual releases. Starting with 4 film favorites, there's a few on here. Hugh Grant, King of Horror, that's Stephen King. Lethal Weapon, and Urban Action. Those are all 4 film favorites. Then The Adventures of Superman, the complete 5th and 6th seasons. People have had trouble. This list is all people that have sent in what is rotted in their collection. So it's a big list of people around the world that have sent this in, and he just compiled it into one document here. Alfred Hitchcock, the signature collection, which comes with Foreign Correspondent, Strangers on a Train, Stage Fright, Suspicion, The Wrong Man, Animaniacs, I believe the first versions of Animaniacs, when they were in, box sets like this. So Animaniacs, Astaire and Rogers Collection 1 and 2, Barbara Stanwyck Signature Collection, Batman the Animated Series, some of those, the Bay Davis Collections, Volumes 1 through 3, Blade Runner, the 4-disc Collector's Edition, Burt Lancaster's Signature Collection, Busby Berkeley Collection, Volume 1 and 2. Buster Keaton TCM Archives Collection. Luckily, I don't have many of these. Cary Grant Signature Collection, Clark Gable Signature Collection, Classic Comedies Collection, Classic Comedy Teams Collection, Classic Musicals from the Dream Factories, Volumes 2 and 3, The Cult Camps Classics Volumes, Dallas, Multiple Seasons, Doris Day Collections, just has Volume 2 listed. Some of the original run of Dukes of Hazzard, Elizabeth Taylor, Richard Burton Collection, Elvis Presley, the 10-disc set, Errol Flynn, some of those, the Signature Collection, and the Spotlight World War II Adventures, Esther Williams, the Film Noir Collections, of 3 through 5 volumes, Forbidden Hollywood, both of those, Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends, some of the Friends series, F Troop, Gary Cooper again, Greta Garbo, long list. Henrik Osbin Collection, Humphrey Bogart Collection, James Cadney, James Stewart Signature Collections, Joan Crawford 1 and 2, John Ford and John Wayne Collections. For the most part, these are in alphabetical order. The Katharine Hepburn Collections, Legends of Horror, Literary Classics, some of Lois and Clark, which I don't have any of those. The Looney Tunes Gold Collection, all those volumes have issues. The Lucille Ball Film Collection, Man from U.N.C.L.E. Season 2. Mickey Rooney Judy Garland Collection. Man, these are some good releases that people are having issues with. Myrna Loy William Powell Collection, Nancy Drew, One Tree Hill, Paul Newman, Pinky and the Brain, those volumes have issues. Papa, The Powerpuff Girls, Rooney and Garland, I don't even know what that is. Sam Peckinpah, Shakespeare, Silverhawks, some of the Smallville, Spawn the Animated Collection, Stanley Kubrick, the director's box set, which I have, I'll talk about that later. Some of the Super Friends, Superman, the Ultimate Collector's Edition, that's the silver tin. Superman, the theatrical serials, Supernatural, some of those seasons, Tales from the Crypt, the Tarzan collection, a few of the TCM collections, Tex Avery, the Christopher Reeve Superman collection, the Exorcist Anthology collection, The Flash, the original series, a bunch of those don't work. The Sopranos, West Wing, Tom and Jerry, some of those. The Vacations double feature of European and Vacation. Veronica Mars, some of those. The Gangster Collection. Okay, now we get to individual titles. Many Stanley Kubrick movies from the box set. 2001: A Space Odyssey, A Clockwork Orange, Austin Powers, Arsenic and Old Lace, Babes in Arms. Man, this is a lot of films, Warner Brothers. Thankfully, a lot I do not have. Eight-Legged Freaks, Eyes Wide Shut. I won't read all these. I think I'll skip ahead a little. Some of the Harry Potters, uh, Elvis. The biggest one on here is John Carpenter's Someone is Watching Me, which I will talk about here in a second. Uh, let's see, anything else? Oh, the individual Superman releases. Texas Chainsaw Massacre: The Beginning, which is a new line. Uh, that's Entertainment 3. You can check these. Another notable one is Twilight Zone the movie here. Uh, West West Point Story, Waterloo Bridge, Wizard of Oz, Wonder Woman the animated movie. So you can check all these. There's 208 that you can go look at. He has a link in his first video. So 208 affected titles. Now I'm going to go through what did not work. Caleb gave me this to show. This is a Gangsters Collection Volume 1. He had 2 that did not work out of the 6. The Roaring Twenties and Angels with Dirty Faces. But the other 4 worked. Played fine, he said. They re-released this in a smaller box set, so he got that already, and it's in the mail. Thankfully, of all the ones listed in my collection, only 8 were affected. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, yeah, 8. 8 were affected. Batman 2 disc would not play. I showed those. But like I said, I'm getting that on Blu-ray at some point. Not a huge deal. The Alfred Hitchcock collection, Suspicion, and The Wrong Man do not play, but Strangers on a Train and I Confess do. I wanted to split those up anyway. Lethal Weapon 1 and 3 do not work. Editor Josh cutting in here. Caleb reminded me his release of Lethal Weapon is different, even though it has the same case and everything. His are individual discs, so they work fine. It's the 4-pack that has the flipper disc that has the issue. So if you have Lethal Weapon, the film favorites, check if it's the flipper disc or the individual disc. Because I forgot about that. So just wanted to mention that in case you have the one with the 4 individual films. Okay, back to me. Someone's watching me. It get about a little over halfway and completely stop, which with this rot is a little different than scratches. When a movie is scratched, it still jump ahead and just like glitch out every now and again. This rot, it completely stop. Sometimes the screen will go black. It would not play the special features as well. Leave a comment down below if you know if this is like in War Archives or if it was released overseas on Blu-ray. I don't know if this is available anywhere else. Caleb has it too. He has not tested his yet. So we'll see. Super Friends, the all-new Super Friends Hour. The first disc one on both, will get all the way to the final episode and stop. But the other episodes play fine and the other disc plays fine. So I guess I dodged a bullet because a lot of people, like their entire Super Friends collection, will not play at all. A bunch of the disc. Then same thing, one of the discs gets to the second to last episode on this one, will not play. But the other discs are fine. It's crazy how that works. The only one that affected the whole thing is Pinky and the Brain Volume 3. Every disc gets about halfway, then the screen turns black. So Pinky and the Brain Volume 3, the other volumes work. Then randomly these are not on the list. And I think these are due to scratches, because they still go through the movie. We have the fountain, but just in case, if it is disrot, P.S. I Love You, IMAX Deep Sea, Batman, this one, the final episode, right as it's about to end, it stops. I think it is scratches. All of them have really bad scratches on it. Like a really deep one there. I don't think you guys can see it, but it's a really deep scratch. And then Tiny Toon Adventures, same thing. This gets about halfway through the disc, and I keep going, but I think that's scratches. I don't think these are because of the factory. The numbers in the mail of the disc are different. Sometimes, like ZYB200.1.0 VB01 or 02, those are the affected, the little code inside. For the most part, that's the code. If they have numbers, that's fine. I haven't had any issues with those. And then we'll get to the ones on the list in my collection that work. And Retro and Idealistic both said if they're not rotted by now, they should be fine. So I'm not exactly sure if, how much time has to pass in order for the disc rot to kill the movie. Not sure. But Stage Fright worked fine. Pinky and the Brain Volume 1 worked fine, even the paper sleeve. All My Tales from the Crypt worked fine. These might in fact be re-releases. I'm not sure if those are different from the original run. Batman the Animated Series, those all worked fine with the exception of the one I showed earlier. Challenge of the Super Friends didn't have any issues with that. Blade Runner worked fine. Texas Chainsaw worked great. Wonder Woman, Twilight Zone the movie, and Eight-Legged Freaks, those all worked perfect, no issues there. The Stanley Kubrick box set, which is listed as well as some of the individual films, this worked fine. Didn't have any issues with any of these. Then we get to some that I think are re-releases. Wonder Woman, which a lot of people had issues with, but those were the paper releases in the box set. These are, in a regular DVD case. I think all these these were fun. I tested them. I'm pretty sure those are re-releases. Looney Tunes, same thing. Uh, if it was released like this, people have issues with it, but these were all fine. Animaniacs, same thing. This was a complete series which was released a couple years ago, so that's fun. No issues there. The Flintstones, again, same thing. The individual releases is what you have to watch out for. All these Super Friends, they all worked perfect. I think these were all after 2010, though. I'm not sure. uh, these have a confusing order. Super Friends. Retro Blasting did a great video on the order of those. Assuming your copies are not messed up. Uh, I prefer Justice League when I'm watching, when I want to watch a Justice League show. Pinky and the Brain Volume 2, this was a re-release. So that plays perfect. My Veronica Mars, all re-releases. Did test them, they're fun. Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends. This is a re-release. But I'll tell you guys, the complete series is at Walmart right now for $55. So if you want to get that, these individual were going for crazy amounts of money. I think there's 2 seasons. So if you want it, go out and grab it at Walmart right now. I want to eventually, but I have a season already. The Tom and Jerry Spotlight Collection, if you have the individual releases, that's an issue. The complete collection, not a problem, because this was released after 2010, I believe. And Droopy, these worked fine. It is in a paper, in a box set, but these were fine. And then the Powerpuff Girls, the complete collection, these worked fine. So, yeah, the Warner Brothers Disrot controversy epidemic, I don't know what you want to call it. Initially thought worst case scenario, tested over 200 things that were all Warner Brothers in that time frame, 2006 to 2009. Then I started checking the inner ring. If they had the numbers, they were fine. If they had a code similar to the one I said, VB02 or VB01, sometimes AC02, I tested all those. For the most part, they all worked fine, with the exception of the 8 that were on the list and the 5 or 6 that were scratched. So yeah, could have been a lot worse. A lot of people in the comments of those videos all said they were hit pretty hard, especially if you collect Superman. Like, a bunch of those do not work now, which is a shame. I'm not a super big fan of Superman. I prefer Batman, so I got lucky with my Batman the Animated Series. Only 2 discs, but I do want to get the Blu-ray. I always thought in collecting, if you get new, take care of it, keep it in a temperature-controlled room. Don't scratch the disc. That would last, a while, which is a fancy world, because nothing lasts forever. but I didn't think it would be the manufacturer that gives you a time bomb, basically. Luckily, Scooby Doo manufactured with somebody else. Same with Mary Kate and Ashley. If your disc says made in Mexico or made in Canada, it's fine. Even if it's from that era, it's just this one company in Pennsylvania. Cut a bunch of corners. Warner Brothers has never addressed this. I didn't know about it. I don't watch some of these every year, so I didn't know. But leave a comment if this has affected you. Definitely go find those lists. And it could have been a lot worse. Hashtag blessed. Only 8 titles affected and not the whole thing. The only bummer is someone's watching you. I don't know where I can pick that up again. If it's on Blu-ray, let me know. I don't believe it is, but maybe Warner Archives re-released it, or they just re-released it after 2010. So yeah, leave a comment. This was something I knew absolutely nothing about. Uh, so definitely check the list and check any on the list in your collection. Let me know if you guys had any issues. But yeah, not sure what Warner Brothers should do here. If it's a Criterion, years back, the Criterion Collection, they had a release that was manufactured poorly, and a lot of people were getting it brand new in the package, and it was already destroyed. Disc rot because of however they manufactured, and they would just send people replacement, uh, replace it. But not sure what, what Warner Brothers can. They probably won't address it if we're being honest. But the retro blasting. No, the other guy. He emailed Warner Brothers. In fact, that's in part two, and they sent him. I think it was 19 titles. So those were all in the archive, though. So, but these were some I was going to replace anyway, except Super Friends. I don't know what I'm going to do about those. But it's the final episode, so I don't know. But yeah, the disc rot, a collector's worst nightmare. And I thought worst case scenario, we had 8 affected. So, it's bad, but it could have been a lot worse. So again, jump in the comments. Tell me if you guys are affected by this. Uh, Definitely pushing me to upgrade all I can on Blu-ray. Because DVDs, if you scratch them, they mess up, and now we have the disc rot thing. Luckily, Warner Brothers was the only studio that used that company, as far as I know. So go watch the movies mentioned, videos mentioned, that give you a better understanding of everything that's going on. So that's going to do it. I'm Josh. More videos coming as always. Until then, if I don't see you out thrifting or at Walt Disney World, I will see you at the movies. Bye.